Save, build a. Sound money, sound money. All right, ugly old goat. Good morning, Jesus.
Hello, ugly.
So
This will be
this is getting a little tiring, and yet it's a good habit. We decided how long we've been doing this now.
I think
It's about
2 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
We're having a show every morning.
Yeah.
We're
Read
doing
through
it
and everything.
Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays at 7, which
Right. And then
at
Tuesdays and Thursdays with the goat.
Goat Lady, and that is at 9 our time, which that means on the East Coast it's like 10 o'clock and noon.
Noon.
And that's why we did that, because it's a good time for Europe. We're out here on the West Coast of Mexico and Pacific time, which is the crappiest time zone in the whole world, because once you get to us, you got the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
There's nothing out there except Hawaii.
Yep.
And then you hit, Japan and the Philippines and Hong Kong and all of that. So it's not a good time there, but it is for all of the Americas and for Europe too. So we do other shows, that's more conducive to Asian time sometimes. These guys from Australia, they can't even come to the conference. They're so locked down. And I have Australian. We got Australian
people?
members that can't
Man.
come to the conference, and they said, "Man, I wish I could go." And guys, we have a lot of freedom down here.
Yeah. That's the good thing.
So,
the freedom.
did I tell you when we were at the La Serena the other night? We were all in the pool. Nobody had. It was like. We had a great time. Yeah, they have a great big jacuzzi there, and we probably had 30 people in it, kids, adults. It was fun, and we were just all having a great time.
Family event?
Well, it wasn't. It was a lot of families were there. There was a lot of people that have, like, one of the groups that was there was having a wedding at the vineyards. But
that's the one you said that they came down here because they saved a bundle, right?
Saved a bundle, and they didn't have all the restrictions. I mean, they just don't. You can meet. They have a few restrictions. They're still kind of
guys,
but it's coming off. Yeah, it's coming off fast, and so, like I say, we're real right. There's kind of the official, and then there's the unofficial.
Right.
So right now, we cannot be. But the unofficial is probably going to change here too. But that's why we're limited on this conference. Guys, I don't know what we've been doing this week. As I'm going through the first 3 articles, that kind of the trilogy that I wrote, and I started this thing way back in 2018. I think I wrote them all in a matter of about 2 weeks. When you write, sometimes you just get inspired, and then sometimes you don't get inspired. And this was just one of those times. And I don't know, for some reason, I picked up right about, I got thousands of followers right off the bat. I know somebody picked up on it first, and I got thousands, and then Tone picked up on it, and boom. And I did this with my savings.
Really?
Yeah, well, the same 10 Bitcoin that I used to start the newsletter, that's what we're doing this conference. That's why I'm kind of teaching people how you use Bitcoin, because it's a long-term perspective. I remember when I first bought my first Bitcoin back in the August of 2013, and it was through Coinbase, and one of the things they did recommend, buy 10 of them, and I did, and look where those 10 are today. Those same 10 Bitcoin, the first original 10 that I purchased, was then used to actually build the newsletter. I spent, when I decided to stop trading, I was in the top 10 notationally in 2017 on BitMEX, and I wasn't trading all of 2018. I just wasn't hitting the lick at all, and so I said, "Yeah, you know what? I need to practice what I preach. Stop trading," and that first article was blowing out the bottom with a smile. And I said, "You know what? If a lot of traders are out there, they're probably having the same thing I'm going through, and they're over trading. It just dominates your whole life." Market and take that loss and have a smile on your face, you're over trading. You got way too much on with too much leverage. You don't have to use leverage at all. In fact, for the first many years, I didn't use leverage. So this is the third of the trilogy. The first one was blowing out the bottom with a smile, and then the second one is followed with how to get the same results of a professional trader without the inherent risk. That's actually the lead article that kind of put me on the map, and it's on what we start out with the website at uglyoldgoat.com. That's the very first article. We read that last time. Today we're going to go through the third third of the strategy, and it's I am saving. And if you look, what I teach is very simple. We hodl and we save, and saving is how you reward yourself. And then, of course, the last thing we do is build a, and like the conference, this studio, and other things that we do is building with Bitcoin. And so let's go through and outline this. Again, this is an old article. It's 3 years old, but it's kind of also timeless, because that's when I wrote it. I did that intentionally. At a recent hearing, CFTC Chairman J. Christopher Giancarlo famously attributed the Bitcoin term HODL to being an acronym for Hold On for Dear Life. Giancarlo went on to talk about his 30-year-old niece, who he says is a longtime Bitcoin investor. She's a HODL, he said. She's not a fraudster. She's just a kid, and she believes in it. Regulators must step in to snuff out the bad actors in the crypto world, Giancarlo said, if nothing else, so that people like my niece can have some security. Mm-hmm. Well, that's a great ideal, but the government has not weeded out any of the bad actors. They just can proliferate. Now they after the fact, and then they might do something. And the SEC has never shut down one of these operations before they happen, and of course it's happening all the time. So, but an ideal is great. I mean, what I teach guys is the fundamentals of Bitcoin is based on long-term fundamentals. We have generational corruption. We have the greatest swindles in the history of mankind, and those are number one, inflation. And these swindles are committed by our governments, and only governments inflate. Well, that's not exactly true. We have the crypto world inflates too, but the primary damage, all the primary damage has been done by governments. And then the second biggest swindle of all time is, my mentor identified it as Social Security, but it can be all of the entitlements. And that's just as corrupted. You're always paying more than what you're ever going to get, and it just corrupts society from top to bottom. And then because you have all these problems created by government, now you have the third swindle of all time, and that is regulation. And actually, Harwood identified the SEC as being the third greatest, but I bundle that all up, and it's basically all government regulation. So, anyway, I outline all of these. You hit the footnotes, all those boxes or other side articles. I said this turned into the wise meme: "Stay calm and howl." And I think we have that one up there somewhere. But anyway, if you have a disciplined dollar cost averaging for Bitcoin, you've done quite well. And that's what I outlined on the how to achieve the same results of a professional trader without taking the inherent risk. This was, I think, the first article out there that actually outlined the strategy of dollar cost averaging in Bitcoin and the actual results. And it is just amazing. I basically took half of my Social Security check every year since 2013 and put it into Bitcoin. And by doing that, you become a Bitcoin millionaire. And it just shows you how badly and corrupt our system is. But it takes discipline to do it. You have to have, it's a saving strategy. It's not a trading strategy. And by dollar cost averaging, by definition, you're going to be buying more Bitcoin at lower prices than higher prices. And the speculation is that over the long run, Bitcoin is just going to keep trending upwards and upwards because of its unique qualities of a limited supply and being unconfiscatable and being easily transferable throughout the world. So That's what you use. I don't think it will ever evolve, at least in the near term, as a store of value or even as useful cash, but it's very useful to use as your treasury. And again, to me, the next big wave in Bitcoin is not going to be by banking the unbanked, but it's going to be entrepreneurs out there, producers that they're entrepreneurs, they don't have Bitcoin, and they're going to learn Bitcoin from other entrepreneurs like you and me.
Right.
Because he's an entrepreneur. He doesn't work for me. He contracts with me, and he's getting real nasty on his negotiations sometimes. Said, I need to go use the car and go see my family.
Yeah.
That didn't work very well. But anyway, we have to work our butts off for this conference. We don't have any free time, and
crunch
we know
time
it's crunch time.
It's crunch time.
But it's also so fun time. We'll remember it forever. Remember that conference?
Remember that one time?
Yeah, we got memories. All right, but there's a Bitcoin detractor. His name's Jeffrey Robinson, and he wrote years ago, he kind of looks foolish now, but Bitcoin, Naked Truth About Bitcoin, argues that Bitcoins are ignoring the difference between saving and hoarding. Savings are lent out to entrepreneurs who build economies. Okay, he's right on that one. Hoarding sits in a shoebox at the bottom of the closet and does not grow an economy. Now, he's equating hodling to criminal activity almost, and that's quoted from his chapter 3. And while he implies Bitcoiners should be jailed, he does make a valid distinction between hoarding and saving. But he limits this definition of savings as lending to entrepreneurs to suit his agenda, failing to recognize that hodlers also wear the hats of consumers and entrepreneurs. And we have consumers and entrepreneurs with limited wants and needs. And boy, that Bitcoin can sure come in handy sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when you really need something, we had a little personal emergency here at the first of the year, and we don't talk about it. We don't talk about the cyst on your ass because that's kind of,
it's kind of personal.
It's kind of personal. And we didn't show, how it has to heal.
I was out for like a month.
You have to let your
a little
tummy,
bit more
and
than
you
a
have to
month.
heal from the inside out. So it's kind of like
it's like an open.
You can't even sit on your ass.
No, I couldn't even take that crap, man. I'm not shitting you. I could not shit, and that thing burned, man. Yeah, it was awful.
Well, the goat lady had the same thing, but she gets a lot of hypodermic needles and shots, and that's one of them developed.
And then the thing was that they couldn't like stitch me up, I had open.
Yeah, it has to heal from the inside
and then
out.
Clean it out every day. Oh man, that was awful. Anyways, back to the article.
Yeah.
Nasty.
I love talking about your anal cyst. Sometimes just.
It's not fun.
All right, but the whole world knows about it. Your YouTube fame is going to come from your anal cyst. So, nerdy hollers, as things increase, you buy new things. Now, it may not be for your anal cyst, but you might, you reward yourself. You might want to upgrade your laptop. You might buy a new car, build a new house, build an addition, take a long-awaited vacation. Basically, hodling entrepreneurs are diversifying into other mainstream income-producing assets and ideas long hoped for, but previously out of reach. Guys, this studio was long hoped for. Well, I don't know that I wanted a studio. I knew I wanted to do something.
Remember the first one we had?
Oh yeah, I know. But
I mean, it wasn't bad. It was just not.
Well, we're still bad, but at least we got a better
we're a lot
studio.
better than before. Trust us. Believe me, we're a lot better than before. Look at the quality. I remember the first cameras we had. Those laptop cameras. What were they, right? And remember when we were share screening? We were sharing the screen.
I still can't do it.
You had to use a different camera and a television because we couldn't figure it out.
I'm learning how to use Telegram now, finally, and just all this stuff is not easy as for old guys.
It's not fun.
Okay, but hodling is dynamic, growing monetary energy at rest, locked in a box with a private key waiting to be unleashed at an opportune time by the hodler. paper dollars in a shoebox is static, depreciating monetary energy at rest, rushing headlong towards its intrinsic value of worthlessness. Not a wise hodl. Bitcoiners are growing the economy in ways they see fit. Now, they may not like some of the things I do, but if it's not financially profitable, and eventually I either have to subsidize it and do it because I have a passion for it, or if it needs to be economically viable, it will eventually fail. It's kind of like this conference. I mean, I'm doing it not because I don't have to do it, but I really want to do it, and it doesn't have to be economically viable. And that makes it kind of cool because I'm not looking for shit corners. I'm not looking for sponsors. I am kind of looking for sponsors, but I can be selective. I'm not going to let anybody just come in here and
Right.
taint this conference. But I don't need them. If I don't get one sponsor, that's okay. But we got two. And
That's
we're gonna
good.
I got another one. The ones I
Oh,
won, I think, are
yeah.
all going to be there. So we'll find out. And we want to make it worthwhile for them. But hopefully it'll be a very rewarding on both sides because it's a big deal putting these things on. In my own case, 2017 has provided a livelihood for dozens of families in Mexico. We built 3 homes, we have a school, we have fishing boats, car wash, a failed tire. Some of the fishing boat that failed, the car wash failed. Instantly, a lot of these are failed businesses, and most businesses fail, guy. I hate to say it, but most of them do. You try different things. Oh, that didn't work, or that guy. We
true.
took a chance on him, and
Yep.
well, it didn't go. Being a success in business is not easy, but you know what? If you don't succeed. If first you don't succeed, try again. That's what you do. But if managed
Isn't there a
correctly,
song like that?
these mainstream vulnerable assets will provide hundreds a livelihood for years to come, and we're slowly doing that, and the goat lady, she just keeps building. She seems like she's got 30 or 40 people working under her every day. She's out there just doing her thing. And there are thousands of us. We're not alone. We are all haulers. We're the 5%ers. We hold the private keys to thousands of boxes that others seek to raid, steal, declare unlawful by hook, crook, or force. That's what our hodl is. That's what Bitcoin is. They can take you. They can take all these things that I have around me. But as long as I have those private keys, they can't take my Bitcoin. And even I have my private keys, you can set in such a way they still can't get it. That's the cool thing about Bitcoin.
That's nice.
Yeah, you can do all
That's
kinds
nice.
of weird things with it. But we have this thing called Bitcoin Pharisees, you see, and you had back in the biblical times, you had the Pharisees and the Sadducees. And you see, I think they always taught me the Sadducees were sad because they didn't believe in heaven, so they're sad, you see. But Pharisees are the ones, they know it all, and they're out here promoting one thing after another, anything but sound money. And one of the things that they've always used is the altruistic notion, we're going to bank the unbanked. Well, maybe you'll feel good about yourself if you do that. But actually, for the most part, if people that are unbanked for a reason. Now, that's not always true. There are exceptions. But if they are unbanked, they eventually get banked. So, whenever they start saying, well, we're going to unbank the banked, I smell scam. And not always, but it does tend to be that way because it's kind of a
Smell a scam.
useful...
That's a good one.
altruistic utopians, because there's always going to be poor among us, guys. We know that. We know that's revealed to us in Scripture, which is the only source of truth. That's the way from where I come from. Now, most of my people don't agree with that, but at least you know where I'm coming from. But again, they're unbanked mostly for their own reasons, but these Bitcoin Pharisees think they're going to overcome problems of the world that have never been solved before, and good for them, maybe they will. But unfortunately, that's not what's happening. In most of the cases, they're lining their pockets on the backs of those they promised to help, and they're really a curse to the honest Bitcoin community. So there's our acceptance. I know this Lightning Network, they have the same vision. I'm just not sure I don't see that that's the next wave in Bitcoin. But hey, I hope I'm wrong, and I hope that those altruists are good. But most of the shitcoiners draw on that same narrative.
Right.
So I'm very, very suspicious of that narrative about banking the unbanked. And so the way you deal with these Pharisees is you deal the same way that Christ dealt with the Pharisees of his day and expose them for who and what they are. And they use an ad hominem attack. And a lot of people say, oh, that's name calling, don't use ad hominem attacks. No, ad hominem attacks are extremely valid and useful and drive home a point. And they're a logical argument, but they do have two conditions. They have to be relevant, and they also have to be true. I mean, you could bring up something in somebody's past life, but they're not relevant to the issue. And then what happens, they bring up something that's simply not true. And that's what the Pharisees tend to do. They will bring up things that, if they name call, they're name calling over something that's just not true or is completely irrelevant. But as long as you're using something that's relevant and true, and that's why the name Pharisee is so good to call people out on this, because that's what they are. While Christ fed the poor, he healed the sick, he showed mercy to the sinners, he had no mercy for the Pharisees who preyed upon the poor and the ignorant in the name of righteousness. He called the Pharisees of his day hypocrites, son of hell, serpents, blind guides, fools, white sepulchres, full of dead men's bones and all uncleanliness, and offspring of vipers. Now, a lot of people don't want to hear that. Oh, Jesus was such a good man. Well, yeah, he was perfect, and he didn't have any problem calling out the hypocrites. So as hollers, we must be men and do the same. It's time that we call snakes snakes. And so I do call snakes snakes, even in the Bitcoin world. I see that the new Bitcoiners are the entrepreneurs. There's the fourth wave of Bitcoiners are the existing successful entrepreneurs and upcoming new entrepreneurs with experience creating wealth who have yet to enter the Bitcoin space, but they're eager to learn. As hodlers and 5%ers, it's our task to educate these new participants. And we call it trickle-down Bitcoin. I take an Arthur Lapper supply side where, Arthur Lapper has this famous Lapper curve where as you reduce taxes, then people start producing more, and then it has the trickle-down effect on everybody else around them because they're producing again, they're employing people, they're giving people meaningful work. And I think this wave of entrepreneurs adopting Bitcoin is going to be far larger than the 2014 to 2017 third wave. Not numerical size, but in quiet economic intensity, and promises to lay the foundation for hyper-Bitcoinization of the masses due to these movers and shakers of ideas and actions. Guys, I don't really think that, I think what Michael Saylor has done is great. He's really been a great educator. My biggest takeaway from him is the way he teaches people that Bitcoin is your treasury and how to use it. But I don't think that the institutional investing is going to be that significant. The real significant, sustaining long-term move is all the entrepreneurs in the world that don't have Bitcoin yet. And believe me, 99% don't. And this is, or if they do, they just have a small amount. They really haven't learned to use it yet. So this is the journey I'm on to show by example in my everyday living how Bitcoin can be used to acquire wealth. I started with nothing. I did 11 years in federal prison. I got out in 2002, built a small business that took me over a decade before I could pay off the debt from it. And that was finally paid in 2016. I'd already have it, a hodl, but we had a very good year. Remember that year? We worked our butts off, and that was the year I also gave you a nice bonus, which is a good story of itself. But you weren't ready for Bitcoin. I was going to give it to you in Bitcoin, but it was better that I held it and gave you that fiat. That's such a good story. We told it time and time again. It's okay. But hey, if we fail in this noble endeavor, we have the ability to shut down the valve and try it again at another time in another place, risking no more than 5% of our hodl in any endeavor. Guys, this is what I call the big risk now that's coming. I don't think it is exchange risk anymore. I think we're through that phase. I think the biggest risk is jurisdictional risk. So you want to be set your personal finances in as many jurisdictions as you can. I'm very limited. I'm basically in 2 jurisdictions, the United States and Mexico. Mm-hmm. But if you're sitting in the United States, if you're a U.S. citizen and all you have is your house and retirement fund, and you're counting on that to retire on, you're extremely vulnerable. That's why you want to be converting some of that. I would say at least 15% into Bitcoin, and then also be looking to establish yourself in other jurisdictions. And that's what we're doing. I hope to establish myself. I'm looking at San Salvador. I hope it becomes the Hong Kong of Central America. I mean, they
Salvador,
could really be onto something. I got
never-
a lot
you
of
been there?
reservations.
Have you
about
been
it.
there too, Salvador?
I've never been.
You
No,
never-
but I've known about it. I've known people from San Salvador. I've known about
I heard it's pretty nice. I mean, even though it's kind of
Well, they have a very violent
pretty bad.
history.
Exactly. That's what I was
the
going to say.
problem.
But,
It's run by a bunch of feuding
I
families.
heard they have some nice places to visit. So I don't know if it's true.
Well, that whole area down there, it's right next to Costa Rica. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. So I don't know. I would probably not go down there by myself, but since the girl lady's Mexican and speaks fluent Spanish, we'll probably make a little trek down there someday. So anyway, hodlers tend to be responsible with their new wealth and their shining stars to like-minded entrepreneurs looking to enter the space. So here's your entrepreneur. You come up with a new idea, and we say, "Oh, does it work?" And then we say, "Oh, yeah, it does." And you make a little money off it. Maybe not a lot, but you scratch or you make a little bit. Sometimes
Kind of
you
like
hit a
the
home run.
equity app. You
Yeah.
know?
And then you do. If it doesn't work, no, and you go back to other ideas and you do it all over again.
Exactly.
You're not going to succeed at
Gotta
everything
keep
you
trying.
do. You're just not going to do it. So, whether or not we're going to make this Bitcoin Standard Conference a success, a sustaining success.
Oh, we're
we'll
gonna
find out.
try.
I feel
trying.
good about it. I think it will be. I mean, I think
I'm trying.
But like I say, the cool thing is it doesn't have to be, and it's worthwhile doing, whether
It's fun.
financial success or not. It is fun. So hodlers, by their very nature, tend to be responsible for their new wealth. Hodlers do not trade much, and we don't speculate. They recognize Bitcoin's potential as a store of value. They hodl. We do speculate, but it's a wise speculation, and that's what I teach. Is we don't speculate with high leverage, high margin type of a thing. You only risk a small part of your hodl. If you're trading, you don't trade at all till you have hodl. So they do not promote or fall victim to the 95% who pay lip service to Bitcoin, only to promote the next token that promises to be better than Bitcoin. And hodlers know there's none better than Bitcoin. And we have a new one now. It used to be the ICOs, the initial coin offerings, but now we have this DeFi, which is it's the same ICO dressed in a new outfit. And the other one are these NFTs, non-fungible tokens. And don't go that way, guys. That's fine. If I steer you only into Bitcoin, I've really accomplished something. Hodlers have experienced the fruitlessness of persuading others to the Bitcoin vision until they are ready to make the commitment. So proselytizing to the masses, I've found, and I used to do it, it's a waste of time and energy. If you're watching this, we don't have a great big old following, but you get the message, and if you embrace that message, you will have long-term financial success. Reaching one entrepreneur at a time is personally rewarding and efficient with far-reaching consequences. We're building relationships every day.
Yes,
We've got are we ever building some relationships down here in Ensenada?
Christina?
Christina and Ernesto,
what's your racer guy? Her dad, Rigoberto.
Rigoberto,
Yep. And her brother, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
think.
yeah. They're all be on the show, so they're all coming. And she's
She's a helper.
well, she knows her stuff too.
Yep.
So, Hodlers are distinguished from the mainstream and are shining examples to like-minded souls who cherish similar values. Hodlers tend to have a low profile. We have a pretty low, except we did talk about your butt cyst, but but we find each other have a like mind and then search for truth with due diligence. And then we go down that we also believe in the 5 pillars. We understand the 5 pillars of Bitcoin. And why is it different? Well, these are easy questions, but the answers are hard and difficult to find in today's deceptive crypto world. Jimmy Song, way back when, he writes articles about it all the time, but he wrote an excellent article outlining the technical reasons in understandable language for the average layman why Bitcoin is different, and they have links right there. You can go read all these other articles. And then I recently found a simple explanation by D. Tyler Jenks. Tyler Jenks is one of the second Bitcoin, right back there. Yeah, he was going to be our keynote speaker at the Bitcoin Working Man's
behind
Bitcoin
me.
Group.
I see him.
Yeah.
I know you see him, but he's behind me.
On the other side there, we have Saifedean Ammous.
Yep, right behind you.
He's wrote the Bitcoin Standard, which is kind of laid the intellectual foundation for the Bitcoin movement and where we are now. But he actually developed the idea of a hyperwave theory, and he defined a hyperwave as something that changes the world to such a major extent that things will be different when it is over. He identified Bitcoin as the only cryptocurrency that meets his technical criteria for a hyperwave and outlines what he considers the 5 pillars of Bitcoin. And those 5 pillars are, number 1, Bitcoin's unconfiscatable. It's permissionless and has a value transfer. It provides anonymity, if I can say it. It's fungible, and it's decentralized. And later on, he expounded that he was going to present to 10.
Yeah, but you stopped him, right?
I stopped
you
him.
said, no,
we
Tyler.
Got to save that for the conference.
Man.
He goes on without us, and so, but Socrates
you said, okay, you give him a taste. You did give a taste to people, but.
So that was my bad.
Yeah.
Never shut up. A guy like that's going to share you some good information. All right. In my personal experience, the first pillar of Bitcoin is the most important because once explained, it is easily understood by my vendors, contractors, suppliers, employees, and friends. Just ask, what asset do you have that cannot be confiscated? Gold, money in the bank, cash, real estate, real property. Asked in this way, and the light bulb turns on. Bitcoin is the new asset of the last resort because Bitcoin is decentralized, it is unconfiscatable, so long as you alone possess your private key, and this imparts to Bitcoin unique intrinsic qualities unknown to any other currency or commodity. When all else is confiscated, Bitcoin remains. Bitcoin is the new asset of last resort. Now, once this unique quality is understood, wise entrepreneurs are willing to enter the Bitcoin space with a portion of their assets, and a good starting placement is from 5 to 15%. Now, we've had a great educator and a major CEO of a major corporation, Michael Saylor, who's come into the space, and he's been teaching the same thing. He came up with a great term that I really like, and he says, Bitcoin should be your treasury. That's what it is going to be in my business. This is going to be my treasury. And it's something that you hodl as an asset. You can do different things. You don't really ever need to sell it. You can borrow it against it. I think one of the things we'll be seeing this coming years is you're going to see more and more assets that will be tradable using Bitcoin as collateral. I think the exchanges that are going to move in that direction and get off this shitcoin gig, they're the ones that are really going to take it to the next level or help us because it'll allow. As hodlers, we'll be able to diversify into other things. I am in right now doing that. I mean, I've recommended. I'm long gold right now. I maybe can show that position, but I've been long gold since it's about 1720, and I've been trading a little bit back and forth. But that's the only trade I have on. It's the only thing I'm just not actively trading because I've never been in step with the Bitcoin market this year. And but I'm in step, I think the gold trade is. We'll just see. I never
We'll
know,
see.
but yeah,
Right.
we'll see. But I do have one of the
Expect to
service
come
I
back.
offer. Every trade that I put on, I publish, and all of my subscribers know
Know that, right.
where I'm at and what I'm doing, and it's worked out, I think, well. Last year I had just a stellar year. I doubt I'll repeat that, but you know, I, enough said. You can look it up.
Hmm.
It's all there and
Right.
documented in real time to our followers. As
Okay.
Bitcoin entrepreneurs, it is our responsibility to educate, embrace have-not entrepreneurs. More importantly, I've personally found that those who quickly understand the value of Bitcoin are also a joy to do business with and competent, usually very competent in their special trade or their services. In 2013, I was giving away free Bitcoin to almost anyone to encourage general use with little or no avail. Today, I give away no Bitcoin because it doesn't work. And just people, if something's free, and I knew that from other experience. You know, we used to generate leads,
Right. Right.
and
Oh yeah, yeah.
and
I remember
people
that.
say, "Oh, well, let me use the leads, and I'll give you a portion of what closed." No, because you know what?
Doesn't work that
And
way.
if you don't pay for those leads, you're not going to work them
Exactly.
the way they should be worked.
Sorry guys, this thing moved.
Well,
Yep, yep, it moved, it moved.
that's a way of getting to go back up.
Yep, that's what I'm going.
All right. Hmm.
There we go.
Okay. So, guys, all of my articles are on Medium. I think they let you get a few free reads, and then you have to pay $50 a year or something. But they're also on my website. They just don't quite transpose the same. But all of this stuff is free at uglyoldgoat.com. All right. We have those savvy. You have two types of entrepreneurs. You have the savvy entrepreneurs who have Bitcoin and increased their net worth since 2014, and now we are looking to save a portion of this new wealth with income-producing assets in the mainstream economy. These savvy Bitcoin hodlers are looking to be mainstream savers, and that's a bastardization, a twist on the word savvy, because you're a hodler. A Bitcoin hodler, you're also
Right.
savvy. And so
Yep.
that's why I use the word savvy to mean save, because your net worth will grow, and then you want to reward yourself and, you know, like I say, you reward yourself. And then the last thing we do is build. But I always reward myself, like my latest reward is I buy these quads, toys, and we're going to actually be part of the conference.
Yeah.
You know,
He's
I
like
got
a little kid with the toys.
you know, and I'm just really blessed.
They're fun though.
They are a lot of fun.
They are
yeah.
tits.
All right. So, in summary, the new MIM in Wave 4 is going to be HODL Bitcoin, save mainstream assets, focus on developing the mainstream assets, stay calm and HODL. Just as HODL became the useful meme during 2014 to 2017 third wave, HODL Save is helpful meme to understand Bitcoin challenges and the monetary transition that lies ahead. It is the interaction between the have and have not entrepreneurs, the have and have not Bitcoin entrepreneurs, that will lay the foundation for critical mass adoption. Guys, entrepreneurs are the producers of the world. And this also has to go hand in hand, I believe, with free market banking, because you can actually increase the money supply in a non-inflationary way by having a reserve of not just Bitcoin, but also the new goods and services coming into the marketplace. But in that way, you have a self-regulating money supply by the market. It's not fixed by any government. It's actually fixed by the participants in the marketplace. You know, if people suspect that what you're producing is not really worth what, you know, if you have any credit out there, your credit's going to be called in. And but that's what self-liquidating commercial paper is. It's actually the innovation of sound money. It was the invention of sound commercial banking was what finally had the gold standard emerge in the Gilded Age. And it wasn't done through deliberateness or a plan. It just evolved. Producers figured out oh, this is how we can do it, and it worked so well that it slowly became nationalized, and then we central banked it, and we started taxing people's incomes, and this started this vicious cycle of inflation, of entitlements and regulation, which we just are having a hard time escaping. We're not going to get rid of it overnight. This is going to be a long-term battle, and that's what we're here to do. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. We got a lot of things to do today, and this is kind of the last of the trilogy. And we're going to be probably more and more getting people on because we're ready to promote this conference now. And we got
Ernesto should be here soon.
Yeah, and so we'll probably be the next show we do. Will hopefully be down in a different studio. This is great for 2 or 3 people, but
yeah, actually, so you can bring the tower. So tomorrow, I'll set up. I'll start setting up downstairs, and hopefully, guys.
We got all this equipment. We're building.
Pretty tits downstairs.
Yeah,
just got to get a little couple of things, but it'll be ready.
And then we're going to have the workshop for the. Oh, we can go through the conference a little bit.
All right.
So we need to do that.
Right, hold on.
If you haven't heard about it yet, Bitcoin Standard Conference coming up August. Actually, it's August 11th through the 15th. We'll go down here.
1 minute.
It says hit the homepage first. We'll show them here it is. Well, we can go through the standard package.
Okay, here we go.
But we'll go through the packages. That's good. That's right here. Just a regular ticket to the 2-day conference is $950. That is going to include your hotel room for 2 nights. It also includes basically you'll get a little sack lunch and coffee and donuts in the morning. We have in the evening of the first day we have a poolside buffet with entertainment, and then we go in and we have our little at night award show. We only have one speaker at this conference. That's going to be Giacomo Zucco, because I said, no, he's the only guy that's entertaining. Everybody else gets a little too serious, and he knows how to have fun, and so that's our fun night out. And the night before, we do have a contemporary dinner, and that's $300. And then after that, on Friday after the conference, we go on an adventure tour at the Horsepower Ranch. You can do any of these things separately, but we do recommend that you get the entire package. We give you the best
full
deal
ride.
that way. Call it full ride. We need to put that up there. Complete package. We need to put that full ride package, because I like that better. So if you try some separately, it's $2,100. You save a little bit by putting them all together. It's $19.90.
Yeah, I like that too. Full ride package.
Full ride package. Yeah, we
instead
need
of complete.
Shipley, if you're listening, we need to switch that.
Full ride.
Full ride package. So, but the cool thing is, you can get 15% off of this price. You can get it for $16.95. All you got to do is go up
cheap.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it is, and that's 4 nights, 5 days.
What's the end date or because I mean,
what do you mean?
I know you're gonna raise the prices a little bit, right?
Well, as soon as we hit the COVID capacity, the current COVID, it's done. Okay, we can't do any more till we know for sure it's opened up. We're pretty sure it's going to open up.
All right.
When it does, and then the price is going to go up to $26.95. I was going to just write it, but I said no, because this is going to. People are going to want to, and I'm already feeling the demand. People are trickling in, and so.
Yeah. True.
Did you know Bitso didn't even know? I reached out, and somehow they missed all of my communications, and they reached out to me and said, "Is this in Mexico?" I said, "Duh." That's it. This really isn't going to be much of a Bitcoin Standard Conference if Bitso doesn't have a presence here, because they're really one of the top. They're really good exchange.
Top notch.
Yeah, they're top notch exchange down here, and very handy for Mexico. They have
So we have the VIP package.
You have VIP package that includes a full conference ticket for 2. So you have access to the media lounge. The other one is just for 1, but you have at the hotel you'll have accommodations for 2. It includes the 2-day premium conference competitions. Well, for 4 people, I mean, you'll have a big. You're gonna have a big room, so you want to bring.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
you have.
they're really nice.
Yeah, you're not gonna get.
A little too bad.
Yeah, we're not going to get a ticket for 4 people, okay? But you will get you'll get a full ride for 2 people, and if you have kids or something, that's kind of what we encourage. If this is a kid-friendly thing,
Family
so if you
event.
bring your family, they can come. We're going to have activities for them actually at the hotel, day trips. If the wife doesn't do that, we're going to have all kinds of day trips during the conference. They can come to the award show and stuff like that, but. It'll be fun for the kids. They don't have to be bored by the conference. And then you get, once again, the wrecked but not ruined
adventure tour.
And that's for 4 people. And it's kind of set up for families. So, it's you and your wife and 2 kids. There you go. Everybody's taken care of. You get a membership to my newsletter, and we pick you up free from the airport or from the border if you're walking across. We'll be there. We're going to have somebody at the airport full time just waiting for people to fly in, and we'll have a transportation waiting for you. And then we added this one because I really wanted to do it. This is with the workshops. Jimmy Song is doing his programming for blockchain workshop, and Jack Mozuko is doing his running for Bitcoin workshop. And we want to encourage that. And so what we're doing, and in this ticket, you'll get one of each to those. Now, if you don't use them, we encourage you. We have a scholarship program. So if you get these, we will make sure somebody gets it, and they'll probably stay right here with us at the Bitcoin house. We've got room for about, 10 maybe 15 people. We might put some more at the other house. So we'll give them we'll give the scholarships free access to the conference and everything, just a full ride ticket. Because there's a lot of people, this is not inexpensive. I know that, and yet it's a bargain because I know how much it costs. So,
and then the final package?
Well, this is it.
This is it?
But the thing that they get is they also get accommodations at El Cielo, which is a 5-star winery. And so that's where the speakers will be out. You'll be able to hang out with the speakers at, beautiful winery. You walk around the vineyards. You've got California fires out there, or fire pits out there. Just sit around and get to spend. And Tone Babes is actually coming to take Jim Giacomo's workshop. So if you're ever going to take one of these workshops, this is the time to do it, because Tone Babes has actually taken one, and you'll be a fellow student. And I wanted to do it. I wanted to go, but I can't, man. You're
going to be around, running around. Ugly.
I'll be running around, putting out whatever fires need to be put out. So
and then the
that's it. So here's how you order, and this is the panelists that we have, and
it's very simple, guys.
Yeah, you just take your favorite one, and let's
say, for instance,
take
Jimmy
Song, hit Jimmy Song, and it's going to take you to his page. It's going to show you what events he's actually getting. Yeah, his schedule is. Of course, he's one of the authors of Thank God for Bitcoin, so he's going to be on that panel. He's going to be on the What is the Future of Bitcoin Banking. He's going to be the moderator for managing and hedging risk on the Bitcoin standard. That's on Thursday, too. And Bitcoin legal tender. Should it be embraced or abolished? That's going to be moderated by Tone, and Jimmy's going to be on that one. So, and then he's also on Friday. We have him moderating one, and he is also he's not just a moderator, but he's also one of the panelists. So scroll up and let's show them how they get the 15% discount.
Okay.
Well, it says right here, you register for conference. You hit that. That takes you to our registration page. And if you scroll down, there's a referral code. Because you have that referral code, you will automatically get 15% off of the price. And then you hit the drop-down menu, and you'll see all the different packages there. The one that we recommend is the full ride. And you get everything. Again, that's right now at $16.95. That's going to include 4 nights and 5 days. And that's what most people are getting. That's one we recommend. That's one we're going to sell out of, and we are very limited on the VIPs. I am limited to 5 of those total. So if you want a VIP, don't wait too long on those because you really help us out because this is quite an event to sponsor and our whole thing is to make this the best Bitcoin conference that's ever been. We want it to be very relaxing, very intense, but also kind of a vacation atmosphere. And after we're done with the conference, which we'll show them the conference schedule. Let's go there so they can see that. Yeah, I'll go back. All right, hit schedule. There it is. And you'll see all the topics here. And you'll see all the panelists. Now, yeah, there they are. Scroll down. At the end of the first day, we have the awards dinner. We'll have a poolside buffet, and then we go in for a little award show. And that's where Jocko gives his keynote speech. And there we go. There's the Bitcoin Standard Awards. There, he's the entertainment and the keynote speaker. He's the only speaker.
Look at that.
And we're going to announce the winner of the 2020 Bitcoin Standard Bear. And then we go to the Horsepower Ranch at the end of the Friday between 5 and 7. We will actually have your bags. You check out, in the morning or noon. We'll take all your bags out there to the Horsepower Ranch, and then we take you out there, and we check in at the Horsepower Ranch, and you'll have accommodations out there. It's a little more informal. Yeah, there it is. The Wreck But Not Ruin Adventure Tour. We'll have a little barbecue out there, and then you can party there at night too. They have a wonderful big old bar down there, and it's very relaxed. And you can either party all night and get up late and do the adventure tour late, or if you're up early, we'll probably start the first adventure tour about 8 o'clock and have 3 or 4 during the course of the day. And it's going to just be a blast. You come back, and we're going to have a big barbecue and entertainment that night, and then you wake up. This Horsepower Ranch is kind of known for their breakfast, so you'll have a big breakfast in the morning on Saturday morning when you wake up, and another breakfast on Sunday. And then we take you back to, if you need transportation, it's not included. All the, you showed the Google Maps. All of these locations are on, you can put it on your GPS on your cell phone. I think it's on the buy ticket. Yeah, go all the way to the bottom. I think you put
not there.
All the way to the bottom.
No,
where is it? Homepage. They're on one of these. I know. We just added it.
Where is it?
No, we should know. Keep going. Keep the other page. Go back up. It's not about. Oh, there's one.
There's one, but no, we had a different one. Is it on the conference?
And we got to learn this website a little bit better.
Yeah.
Get our familiarity.
No, it's not.
All right. Well, they're there. You got to kind of dig them out.
Yeah, dig them out, guys. But they're there.
And once you buy a ticket, then you get completely transferred to a whole other department.
Yep.
We have our event coordinator. What we want to do is know when you're arriving, so we have everything set up for you, and when you're departing, particularly if you want to arrive.
I think she's gonna have people fill out a form. That thing. I think something like that. It was a form to what time they're coming in, what time they're leaving.
Yeah, we're still doing it all with the speakers, and as attendees are slowly coming in. So we have not really pushed this because we want to make sure this conference has a lot of moving parts to it. So it's different from any that I've been to. First of all, it's going to be family friendly, and it's a multiple event where we actually are taking care of you and making sure you get to the places you need to be. We're kind of socialist. We're big brother. And we take care of you from cradle to grave so long as you're at the conference. We want to make sure you have a great experience. So that's it, guys. I'll be doing some regular shows. I'm going to be on with Joe Satz, I think, in the morning. Tomorrow morning, yeah. And he's a sponsor. We've got sponsors now. Emily's a sponsor. They'll start plugging them a lot. We've got Bybit's coming on board. I talked with Bits. We're only going to have like 5 sponsors. So
You want to share this?
what's that? No, they can figure it out. If you want to be a sponsor, that go there. They're available, but I think they're pretty well spoken for. I only have one that I right now, but probably 4 of them are already gone, and,
Right.
and there might be one left. But it's the only way that we'll be making. We're not making it on the conference, but we think we're having a good enough audience here, and we're going to professionally. We're going to have professional staging,
Yep.
and we're going to have it professionally live streamed.
Yep.
I don't think we'll charge for that. People, maybe we should charge something just so, because we want to encourage you to come. The experience is going to be tremendous. So
The content.
Yep. But we'll be doing this again. We both are busy today. I got to take off and go.
I gotta go
You,
too.
you need to go too. Yeah, you're going to take a little day off and enjoy Las Canadas today. So
Wonderful.
have fun with your family, man, because
Bye, guys.
you're going to be working your ass off from here till
Yeah.
August.
Bye.
Thanks.